Have y'all ever said yes to something because you were afraid that if you didn't say yes and you didn't show up, that you wouldn't be invited again? Or have you ever thought through an event, if showing up to something socially, have you ever thought first about being in photos that get posted on social media and paid attention to the way that makes you feel, like you want to show up because you want to make sure that you're in those pictures? Or have you ever dropped somebody's name? It could be even a family member names. Really, it could even be kids' names. But just dropping a name to qualify yourself a little bit. Okay, I've done all of those things and actually still catch myself sometimes doing them now. But if that's you, then this series on self-worth is really going to be for you, because that's what I'm doing, as I'm focusing on self-worth and all the different ways that I have tried to find it outside of myself. They are not easy to admit, but I feel like maybe by being, sharing and being transparent about how I've noticed self-worth showing up in my own life, or the lack of it, then it could help someone who isn't aware, because I wasn't aware for so long. What I do know for sure about self-worth is that if you are seeking it anywhere or in anything or anyone outside of yourself, it will always lead to disappointment and even pain. So the first one that I'm going to share in this series is just trying to find your worth socially in social environments. So for me, that was, I never said no to an invitation. And I called it FOMO, like fear of missing out. And listen, I like to have a good time, like the next person. But that wasn't really what it was. It wasn't FOMO at all. It was a fear of not being invited again. Because see, it never occurred to me that the people were inviting me because they liked my company. Like that just didn't even enter my mind. There was like a pressing need that I had to say yes. And I couldn't even explain it at the time, but I rearranged my family's plans just to show up if someone invited me. It just didn't occur to me that people asked me to show up because they believed I had some kind of value to contribute to the group or whatever it is that they were inviting me to. I've also thought through, if there was a social event coming up, if I've thought about, okay, well, if we don't go and people post pictures and I'm not in them, what will people think? Which, y'all, that's crazy. They're not thinking about me. That's the thing, is that we all get so caught up and worried about what other people are thinking of us. And a lot of times they're not, because they're thinking about them, just like I was doing. I've also used names, people's names, could even be my family and friends and people's names when I'm in a space where people don't know me. That actually is the truth of it. It's where people don't know me. Then a lot of times I will use other people to make connections, and playing the name game and kind of trying to connect is one thing, but a lot of times that's not what it was for me. For me, a lot of times it's placing my value in other people outside of myself. If I can show you that we're friends or I'm connected with them, then you'll know that I'm qualified enough to be in this space with you. And let me be clear for this series, I continually catch myself in these situations where I'm placing my worth or outside of myself. This is 38 years old is how old I am, and that's a lifetime of finding or searching for your worth outside of yourself. That doesn't happen overnight. I've done a massive amount of work with myself, but that's going to take a lot of time to undo. So this is it's a process and not an event, but doing that work has made such a difference in my life. These things are so not easy to admit, but I feel like if I can be transparent about some things that I've become aware of with myself, then maybe that will help other people to say, oh, okay, wait a minute, I do that too. So what's going on here? If this was helpful, I hope you'll subscribe to this channel so that you can get the videos as they are uploaded each week. And then do me a favor, send this link. But don't just send the link. I'm going to tell you what I want you to send with it in just a second. Send this link to a friend, whoever comes to mind first. And when you send it, send a sincere or a genuine compliment, or tell them, how they provide value in your own life, or tell them why you're grateful for them. Just anything you can to lift them up. I think we need more of that now than ever with women. So that's how you can spread the love today. And I will see y'all again next week.